Time for Money Tuesday. It's never too early to learn about financial responsibility. Starting in high school could really put your children on the right path to success. Stuart Welch from the Welch Group, regular guest on Good Day for many years, joins us once again to talk about this. Good morning.
Morning, Janice.
Good to see you. We were talking in the break that we did not learn these type of things when we were in high school, and really a lot of them aren't still taught that today, right?
I'd say most kids when they graduate from college are like clueless. They know a little bit about money. And you've mentioned how it's gotten harder because it's such a digital world rather than a paper world. So
yeah, so keeping up with what you're spending. But what you want to talk about is ways to manage that and really invest for yourself to be successful down the road.
This is really a parent's job. So a parent's job is to teach their kids how to manage money. And by the time they get out of college, they need to know this. This is a skill they need to have. And some of the parents need to have it. So it'd be an education for them
I'm probably
as well.
guilty of it myself.
I don't think you are, but there'll be a lot of parents that are. So I think we talked last segment about elementary school and middle school. Now we're going to cover high school and college. In high school, I think you need to expect them to get a job. So I kind of get this, all year long athletics, and athletics is a great builder of people, but there's no substitute for being in the real world with a real job, working with real people.
It does really change your perspective on things.
It changes everything. You understand how to interact with a boss, understand how to interact with other employees. So really important. We started a savings account in middle school. Now we want to start an investment account, typically 10% of whatever you're earning in.
So you're saying after you get that job, the high school job, take part of that to invest it.
Part of it's in savings, part of it's investing. Have them pick their stocks. So they may pick an Apple or something that they're familiar with. It's very easy to do, and you can do it in very small quantities.
Yeah, you told me years ago, let them pick something that they might like to get them interested into it.
Definitely.
So that makes
Have them
sense.
pick 2 or 3 stocks that they really, companies that they really like to deal with. And they set up their investment account, they begin to manage that. And then you want to start giving them some money, a personal allowance to manage their expenses, whether it's buying their own clothing or buying their own, paying for their own haircuts. Have them do it. Now you're going to need to monitor it pretty closely, but you want them to begin to understand how to use money. As we move into college, they definitely you want them to have multiple jobs. So they get an experience not working for just one boss, but hopefully multiple bosses. And you need to set up a joint checking bill paying account. By the time they're in college, they need to be paying substantially all of their expenses. They need to begin to understand that. And then in investments, you want to begin to expand the investment program, something moving more toward more sophisticated asset allocation. And then I think last time Mike brought up in the break credit cards. And I think in college they should have a credit card. Now you're going to be on it with them, but you need to make sure they pay it off every month. They learn that, and in their checking account they need to balance their checking account. And I think the last thing is they need to start working on a career plan, not in the senior year, but maybe junior, sophomore year, because you don't want somebody to go to college, maybe have a lot of loans, and end up with a degree they can't pay their loans off or not going to make enough money to make a living.
I know people can't help it. I've been there too. But I think the best lesson is not to carry over something on your credit card to the next month. If you can use it almost like a debit card if you want to use it to build credit, and then pay it off at the end of the month, right?
And in fact, you should keep that as a record in your check register when you use a credit card and subtract it from it because you've already used that balance. So you need to account for all the money all the time. They need to be balancing their checkbook. You need to make sure they do it because that's not fun. I know you do it, so I know you know it's not fun. It's not fun, but it is a job. It is part of how you learn how to manage money, and that's the goal, is we want them to have smart money skills in the real world.
That's great advice.
Thank you.
All right, Stuart Welch from the Welch Group.